somewhere in about 92. And in 93 we announced it at ACI, and by 96 we had 100% of the market, and we were growing like crazy. And in 97 they shut the program down, and the owner of the program, it wasn't a good fit for, and the ROI, the return on investment, wasn't higher. They wanted it to be higher. And so they made an attempt at selling it, but our success has spawned a number of, I don't want to say imitators, but it's literally changed the industry. So we accomplished what we set out to accomplish from the company goals of changing the industry. We listened to the customer, we provided them what we needed, and our reward was to disband it.
So what is the current state? I thought you were continuing doing this,
Yeah, we're continuing to do it, but no longer the company that I worked for originally. The original inventors are no longer in the business.
Okay.
They've moved on to other things.
Okay.
They're more profitable.
But you're continuing.
But I continued because I've been working in fiber since 1977, and it's and I.
But again, in your place, it's again successful business. It's steady business. You just
well, we changed the marketplace.
You changed the marketplace.
So it was and I don't want to find fault with my former employer regarding this. I'm trying to say we developed the product, but it did not align with the company goals. So
how you handle IP at the time? So you created
we patented.
You patented?
Yeah, and I've continued to patent it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So, but company is still like old company. They still retain some portion of it.
Oh,
or
yeah,
you bought it up, or
no? I never received any. Or there's no Usually, when you join a company like this, you sign over the IP rights to the company.
Okay.
So they didn't. Yeah,
but when you continued doing it, you just started to develop new things, and you moved on because you were already best in the field at the time.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And so it's.
So new IP was constantly generated to improve the product and to move on and to be stable in the market. So this is another strategy actually to continue company moving, because you have some wonderful invention like in the lab, and you're just thinking, oh, I have this baby, I have this patent now, I need to sell. And finally if you're successful and you are not continuing, most probably someone will be smarter and quicker and
and that whole patenting concept is it's neither right nor wrong, but you need to have a strategy session around or a conversation around, do I want to patent it or do I want to keep it a company secret? Because when you do a patent, you essentially explain to everyone what the uniqueness is.
Okay.
So so there are some things that are better kept.
Coca-Cola example. Coca-Cola example.
Yeah, the Coca-Cola example.
So they didn't patent it?
No, they didn't patent the formula.
So no one knows.
No one knows.
And what was the original formula? No one knows either.
It's supposedly hidden away somewhere. But again, that's the uniqueness of trying to say, okay, and that's part of this features, advantages, benefit discussion, to say, well, okay, how am I unique? There's nothing wrong with being a me too, but be honest about the me too. I mean, a simple example of that is, how many different ways are there to change your oil? Not many, but there's a bunch of Me Too businesses out there that are making a reasonable living that are changing your oil. Okay, what's the difference between one oil changing company and another oil changing company? Well, establish the criteria and compare them. Compare only those two. and then find out what the differences are, and then accentuate those as either an advantage. I have no differences, but I do know that one's in San Antonio and the other one's in Chicago. And if I'm in Iowa, I'm probably going to get shipment from Chicago. So that's a difference. Okay. So, I mean, but that doesn't mean that they aren't in, and if they can come up with some innovative, unique, different way to ship from San Antonio to Iowa, well, maybe I would consider buying from them. But I ought to go through an evaluation and say, well, what's the difference? What's the